It is a FanSided's pleasure, my pleasure, to be speaking with Haven Shepherd, Paralympian, working with Smoothie King, as you can see the drink right there. Haven, your story is simply incredible, and of course, you're a Paralympic athlete because you lost your legs before. I'm assuming your first memory is way past that point in your life, right? You lost your legs, I believe, at 16 months old. If we could start on that part, like, what do you have, like a first memory of just kind of orienting yourself to the world and what's going on?
I definitely will say that I do not remember losing my legs, but yes, my first memory is definitely with my big family. I'm the seventh child and I'm the youngest. And yeah, I just remember my first memory is just big family dinners, packed house. And, growing up in a big family was just always really exciting for me because you always had something new.
Yeah, you were born in Vietnam, and I think more and more people are learning your story. But for those who have not, can you explain how your life has unfolded in the way that it has?
Yes. So my story begins in Vietnam. I was born there and I had two parents that had an affair and had me. And, in Vietnam, women can't divorce husbands. So they decided to commit a family suicide and they strapped bombs onto themselves and they held me. And all the damage was done to my legs. I was blown 40 feet away from the blast. And that happened when I was 16 months old. And then I was adopted when I was 20 months old.
Do you remember being sat down by your adoptive parents or your mom or dad, like, just telling you the story? Hey, Haven, this is what happened to you. I mean, that's just got to be a crazy moment in time.
Yeah. My mom tells the story a lot. I got out of the bathtub and she was, drying me off and stuff. And I just looked up at her and I said, so are you going to tell me like what happened to my legs? And like,
wow,
why are all my sisters blonde? I was a bold 5-year-old. But she read a book that said, never let your adoptive child remember a time where you sat them down and told them this big dark secret. So I've always heard the story from, like, by the time I was on her hip, I heard it everywhere, but I wanted to know the real story before I started preschool. So yeah, she sat me down and she told me, and I only had two questions after she told me. I said, well, that was stupid. And the second question was, where do you even get a bomb in Vietnam? And my mom's response was, well, I don't know, Haven. And then I ran off and I played. And that was the end of the story. But yeah, I always knew my story growing up. And I think that's really helped me through so many things in my life, knowing like what happened to me and knowing that I have, this incredible story. And now I get to live it out into this grand prophecy that I sometimes think.
Yeah. And I would assume that at least some part of you, I mean, I don't know if you want to feel like you're a chosen one or something, but you've got to like wonder, like, how am I still here? Like, I really, on some level, shouldn't have been, but yet here I am. And I mean, I've gone through your Instagram and watched a bunch of videos on you, and it's like you are seize the moment, push through the negative voices in your head. Like, you've got a lot of just pride in doing your best every single day, even, and we all know, or at least we should know, that we're really up against ourselves because there's a lot of, there's huge voices in us. Like, you don't have to do that today. There's something more enjoyable than for you getting in the pool on a freezing cold day at 5 a.m. or whatever it is. But you've done that to get to this level in your life, which is incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually did wake up at 5. I came home and I blow dried my hair. And I ordered a smoothie to come here and I'm sitting down now. Like, that is my life. But I really do seize the moment. It drives my mom crazy because I'm all about making moments, like, oh my goodness, I have tonight off. Like, I'm going to watch a movie and I'm going to build a Lego set. Like, and I think that just comes from, just me knowing that I have such an incredible story, but like knowing that I almost died, and I only lost my legs. Like, I'm like, wow, life is good. Like, I don't have my legs. Like, that doesn't mean anything. I could have lost my life, but, yeah, I do really live in the moment, and, every day is worth living. I feel like the biggest problem in this generation right now is always, seeking an adventure, which we should, but seeking a next thing. When I get to this place, I'll be happy. But I am just such a person that lives in the moment of like every single day you should be happy and making yourself happy, not just because you need to be. It's more because, it's such a chemical in our body to like want to produce happiness. I like something that brings me joy every day is I get to drive. Like I drive 5 minutes out of my way to drive past this neighborhood and all these brick houses. And I get to see like all the people like go out and try to walk their kids to school. And that brings me so much joy knowing that, we have these people I have these people live in a neighborhood right next to me, and they're living a totally different life than me. And I get to, see the joy and the kids riding their bike down the street and, joy in my life, knowing that, I get to live this crazy life of mine, even though sometimes like, oh yeah, I don't want to wake up this morning to go in a freezing cold pool. But that does bring me joy in some way because I get to look forward to, oh man, I get to eat breakfast after this.
And have a Smoothie King, which I think it's a good time to bring that in. You're talking about the activator recovery. So yes. you partner with many brands, and why was Smoothie King someone that was worthy for you to jump on with?
Yeah, my journey with Smoothie King happened when I was like 14 years old. I was really involved with the Challenge Athletes Foundation, and they introduced me to Smoothie King, and they just stand for everything that I do. It's really nice to like all the brands I'm partner with, they really believe in the same message as me, and knowing that, they stand behind me, but also they provide everything for me. Like, this drink right here, I got it ordered to I know how prissy this sounds, but I got this ordered to my apartment. And I know that after practice, I can just drink this. I'm going to chug it after I get off with you. But I know that it has everything I need just for a simple breakfast of like 26 grams of protein, knowing that it has coconut water, has no added sugar, and that my nutritionalist agrees on it.
Yes, coconut water. It's something I'm trying to add into the diet here. Smoothie King, get it done.
Yes.
So what would biggest challenge living your life right now? What would you say?
Biggest challenge in my life right now? Well, I'm living on my own right now. I just recently moved swim clubs. I'm not going to college right now, and I'm living on my own in this apartment of mine. And, just the daily survival. That's the biggest challenge. And I think, I'm surviving here, but I think the biggest challenge is being away from my momager, my mom, who does everything, did all the business side for me. That's been a big challenge of learning how to do stuff on my own. Like, oh, like somebody emailed me, I have to respond, like, but, yeah, life is good. I don't have much to complain about. My life is pretty easy. I don't live a sad story. So not much to complain about here.
Would you say it was natural for you to step into promoting yourself and everything that goes along with you getting to have your own apartment at this age and not going to college? Like you've kind of fast forwarded through a lot of things that, the process of the young person going into, I support myself on my own now.
Yeah, I definitely am in the category of young adult. I paid taxes this year. Look at me go. But I knew I lived such a different story than my siblings. They had a very traditional, young adult upbringing. Like they married their high school sweetheart. They went to college, and now all of them have kids. And now my parents have 20 grandchildren. Yeah, I am really enjoying this stage of my life where I know that, this is everything I work towards. I started this journey when I was 10 years old and I'm 18. And this is everything that I planned for, I prepared for. This is why I did all those years of just hardcore training to be in this position where, you know, I'm swimming full time and I have a place where I can call. I don't call this home because it's not home. It's Base Camp One. My brother-in-law named this Base Camp One. So I get to stay in Base Camp One and, you know, live out my dream.
Your mom, what'd you call your momager? Did I hear that right?
Yes, my momager.
Yeah. You know, one thing I saw her say about you is that she wanted you to just, you know, embrace who you are. She was so proud just watching you swim and like standing up there with able-bodied and you're owning. And I think that's what a mom wants for any of their kids, right? Like you're proud of who you are. How that process of just building that into you, did you have it? How did she help you get there? I think it's something that everybody can relate to. Like, you know, when I look in the mirror, am I proud of who this person is that's looking back at me?
Yeah, I have always I think it's just my personality too. I'm very out there, but I never saw the reason why to be insecure about my legs. Like I can't change that. Like I can't grow my legs back tomorrow. So like, why not embrace it? And, you know, I was really feisty and I wanted to wear skirts in the winter to show my legs. And I wanted to, you know, be, you know, out there because like, why not be myself fully? And that's kind of dangerous because I kind of don't have a filter. But yeah, just her showing me the way of like, ever since I was very little, she told me that I was, you know, this is who I am. And like, this is something, a part of my life that I'm going to have to overcome or might not overcome if, you know, if we do the right steps. But she was very, very reassuring that my legs do not define me. You know, what defines me is my character, my attitude. And we worked on my attitude so much because that was just a big, important thing in my life. And yeah, I owe it all to my parents. And it's so great to see their dream to come into play because, you know, they invested a lot into the swimming career of mine. And it's so great to go to Tokyo and represent them kind of.
Yeah. And tip of the cap to your parents, tip of the cap to you, all of that. And I've talked to other Paralympians, Melissa Stockwell, who lost, I don't know if you know Melissa, but
yes,
okay, right. She amazing. And, you know, lost a leg in Iraq back in 2004. And when I ask her about like people looking at her and seeing somebody different, she's like, well, you know, some days I just wear, you know, if I don't feel like dealing with it, going to the grocery store, I just wear pants because I don't want to have that. I'm wondering, do you ever feel like, you know, today's not the day that I need the extra attention when I go out? Does that ever impact you in any way, shape or form?
Yeah, that definitely crosses my mind. If I really need to just go in and out of a store and I don't want to be bothered, you know, I just put my head down and give the look of like, I'm not really in the mood to talk. But I think it's really important just to really be normalized in the sense of like, okay, if I'm going to the grocery store and I'm wearing, you know, my leg show, you know, instead of like wanting to talk to me, just let me pass by and just realize it's a normal part of your day, seeing somebody that looks different. I think that's really important, actually. A big part of my life too, is just realizing that, you know, I'm in a professional spot in my career now, and everybody likes to call me an adaptive athlete, which I am, but they don't think I do this for real. Like, this is my job. I am a professional swimmer now. This is what I do for a living. And I just think all professional athletes should be paid respect. It's all under one name, but, you know, it is important to know the difference between the Paralympics and the Olympics too.
For sure. And by the way, we've got the Winter Paralympics is starting in a couple of days here. I'll let you look at the smile coming over. What excites you most about this particular March 4th to the 13th coming up?
What an exciting year that we had the Summer Olympics last year and having the Winter Olympics now. I mean, like, it's so exciting, and it's going to make me sad to think like, oh, no more Olympics, no more Paralympics anymore to watch. I feel like it's just become a normal routine of ours, but I'm just so excited to see my country go out there, knowing that I have friends out there that are doing that. I think it's just so exciting. And the fact that we have more coverage, and even the summer, and now you see us on commercials, you see us, broadcasted more. And I think that's really special to think about.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all the coverage, and I hope it gets a ton of coverage because it obviously deserves it. You've talked a lot as we wrap up here, Haven, about sort of overcoming a victim mentality. And I don't know if it, like, when you hear people who perhaps, their challenges are, at least in theory, say less than a lot of other people's, and yet they can't get through it. Like, what's your message? And does it almost like frustrate you hearing it, or do you have that empathy button dialed up at the same time?
No, I'm very empathetic, but not in a way of like, feel bad for me. But I hate the victim mentality because I just have such an American mindset of like, go out and do it yourself, but I understand people are going through very different things, mental health things, that's been brought up more into the spotlight, but there's nobody that can help you but yourself. And I'm not saying just go out there and wear shorts and show off your disability. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that in order to become not a victim and wanting to stand up for yourself is starting with just giving yourself daily affirmation in the mirror, embracing your legs. I don't mean just walk down the street and just flaunt that, I have a disability. I'm proud of it. More like, sticking up for yourself and on the inside. And that's what I do for myself every single day.
Yeah, I'm going to read one thing on the way out here. This is from one of your Instagrams. When I move through the water, it makes a space for me without requiring me to wear my prosthetics. It wraps around me like a security blanket, yet it doesn't hold me back. I'm not always as fast as the other swimmers that have a kick, but the water says, go ahead, move with freedom. I will give you enough resistance to make you stronger, but I won't obstruct your progress. Just describe the feeling for you when you hit that water in competition and it's the moment. Can you try to explain what that's like for you?
Yeah, the water is an element, so it's very special. There's nothing in the world like it. It molds to your body. There's no sound. And I think the reason why I sleep so good at night is because I get to have that time where I get to process everything that happened that day. Like I go through a checklist when I get in the pool and I check off like, okay, what did I do this morning? What did I do today? Like, what did I do today that will make tomorrow better? And I think it's just so calming to know that I have that reassurance. Like I always have that to fall on. Like however rough my day was, I know I can count on swimming to just push me through that edge of like, okay, I'm calm now. I'm calm. I swam. But my life, I cannot imagine my life without the water and without swimming.
Haven, amazing to catch up with you. I hope to do it again, and enjoy the Paralympics coming up here. And really looking forward to just following your journey along here. So thanks for making time for us today.
Thank you.